Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're doing well. I chose the adjective to describe today as welfaring Wednesday, which means being like prosperous and thriving. And the reason why I think that is, again, like our words carry weight. And I know that we're going to be out of school for another month. And so I'm just trying to think of ways that I can help you guys thrive educationally, socially, emotionally, as well, cognitively, in any way that I can. So hopefully today's lesson will be fun. I added a bunch of memes and some challenge questions based off y'all's feedback, and we'll just jump right in from there. Hey guys, so I just want to share some things that I've learned. When you're in the middle of a really tough season in life, or in the middle of a storm, it's really hard to see like the peace that's ultimately coming to us. I think it's just really important to like center ourselves and ground ourselves like in our mission. Take some deep breaths anytime we feel like anxious and we feel like everything's kind of closing in around us, or like we don't see the end in sight to what's happening. Just breathe, and I promise you that like together we're going to get through this. And it's just like important to live purposefully and intentionally, so I don't just go through the days, wake up, sit on your phone, go through Instagram for 25 minutes, shoot some of y'all like 3 or 4 hours, and then play the game all night. Live purposefully, like find like what makes you passionate. Like for me, it's teaching and mentoring and coaching, and like pouring into people and showing them their worth and their values. Like what about you? Like what makes you passionate? So like take a break from your worries. Again, if you feel yourself getting anxious, you feel yourself like freaking out, like take a deep breath like we do in class before we do with our tests and our quizzes. And if you feel like alone or upset, or just call someone who you know that cares about you. I do that all the time. I call my friends from college, from high school, some people that made an impact on my life and allowed them just to speak truth over me. Sorry, my dog's in the way. And the last thing I want to say is like, yes, the school building is closed until April 24th or whatever the date is, but that doesn't mean that school is closed. So if you think it's just the building, so if you think about it, yes, the building's closed, but school is so much more than that. The school is you, it is our community that we have built, it is the relationships that you have with one another, with your teachers, the lessons, the impact of learning. And so, sure, the building's closed, but that doesn't mean that the work and the mission stops. So keep digging in, keep pushing through. I promise you we're going to be okay. If you need anything, reach out. And hopefully you guys enjoy this lesson. I put a lot of y'all's feedback into it and have really thought about it. Proud of you guys. Let's go. All right, so this is a little opportunity that I've thought about after talking to some of you guys. I've had like 34 conversations with y'all, and somebody asked, actually a bunch of y'all have asked, can we have a Zoom meeting or a Google Hangout where we can all kind of just do circle like we did after that day when the magician came, or like we do in homeroom and advisory. So I'm going to open up a Zoom meeting next Tuesday, March 31st at 11 a.m. So we're going to do like a little bit of SCL, a check-in, and just do kind of like a group conversation. I'll have a bunch of questions that we can talk about, and it'll be a good opportunity for you guys to see people who like are out of like your core of like 4 or 5 best friends, and anybody from any class can join. It'll be first come, first served. I think I can have up to like 40 students at a time, up to 45 minutes. So it'll be a really, really special time. I'm excited. Please come and talk to us. I used memes. Shout out to Reese Taylor for asking me to do that. So I have another announcement for you guys. Continue to sign up for the one-on-one conferences and FaceTimes. I talked to 15 people yesterday, and now I've done 37 in total, which has been awesome. Got to talk to a lot of y'all yesterday, so like shout out to like Aiden and Rowan, Clayton, Gavin, Jude, Cole, Damien, Victoria, Jada, Trevor, Bram, Jemiah, Lyle, Sean. It was really, really good to talk to you guys yesterday. Keep it going. Still haven't had a lot of my female students register, which I understand. I get it. But if any of you guys want to, I got some more today. Lots of opportunities Thursday and Friday and next week as well. Just a friendly reminder that lessons will be posted by 10 a.m. Each morning, hopefully, as long as technology works. And then that all the learning opportunities are ungraded and optional. And for those of you that like memes, this is about 2020 vacation. You can tell he's wearing a hazmat suit. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't come to that. here's some more lesson statistics. So if you look, area parallelogram, the day 1 lesson from Monday had 102 viewers. Day 2 had 80 viewers. So I think I kind of bored you guys on Monday. And then on Tuesday, some of y'all didn't come back. I am implementing y'all's feedbacks from the one-on-one conversations. Hopefully today's more interesting for you. This is a meme I found about y'all watching my videos and not subscribing. So appreciate that. I got up to like 20 subscribers now. Hopefully we can get some more. You guys will be more interested. All right, so here's your bell ringer for today. I'm going to zoom in a second. You can pause it. Here's your meme for your dramatic pause. Let me zoom in. Go ahead and click pause now. The PowerPoint's also there for you. Move it into the middle of the screen. Go ahead and click pause now. So now that you've unpaused, we're going to work through some of these questions together. So it says half as many cars as me. So I would just do 1/2 C, or you can do C divided by 2. The next question says the cost of 5 shoes and a $20 sock. So it's 1 sock. You would have 5 shoes plus $20. 2 less than 3 times the number of codes. So remember, the word than tells you to reverse the order. So you do 3C less than 2. And 4 times as many toys. This one's easy. 4T, because it says times, which means to multiply. The next one over here is an expanded form. So you have 9 to the power of 3, or sorry, exponential form, plus 8 to the power of 4. This one you have 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So that's 5 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 to the power of 6. And then 4 squared. Easy enough, still cranking through. So it says graph a square. This is one of my favorite standards that we really didn't get into, but we're going to teach it now. So we have 3, 5, 3, -5, -3, 5. And it says graph a square. By square, I meant a rectangle. And so we would look for the other point, which would all have to be congruent. So we would do -3, -5. And if you connect the lines, you would see that it would come up with a rectangle with really bad lines because I'm an awful artist. And then if we wanted to, we could calculate, we're not going to, but we can calculate the area by counting the squares here, the squares there, and multiplying base times height or length times width. And we could also calculate the perimeter as well just from using the coordinate plane. So the coordinates of point Z were -3, +5 in order to wrap up that rectangle. I don't know why everything is crooked. It won't let me fix it. So this is just some long division. You know, it's divide, multiply, subtract, bring it on down, and bring it on back. So bring it on down and then repeat. So 6 goes into 9 one time, -6, 3, 34, 5, 6 goes into 34 5 times, which is 30, subtract 4, you get 43, 6 times 7 is 42, and then we get 1, annex is 0, and you get 10, 6 goes into 10 one time. We're just going to go off 1 decimal place for today and for the sake of time. I'm going to move into the 69 going into 8,418. 69 goes into 84 one time. Get 69. 7, 14, 5. You get 15. Bring down the 1. 70 times 2 is 140, so you know that it goes into it 2 times. It'll be 138. Again, if I'm wrong for anything, feel free to call me out in the comments or text me. And then you have 138. So 69 goes into 138. 2 times. You get 122. I'm going to skip this one for the sake of time. This video is getting long. We have 2 goes into this, goes into 9 times. 18, 0, 1, annex is 0. And it is 9 5/10. Order of operations, you guys should be a master of this at this point. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It is not 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 1 is 15. Bring the whole problem down. Plus 3 plus 5 minus 10. 5. Then we do the parentheses, which is 8 minus 10. Bring the problem down. 15 times 5 is 75. 75 plus 8 minus 10. So 75 plus 8 gives you 83. Minus 10 is equal to 73. Long bell ringer today, but again, really important to make sure we got all these skills. All right, today's goal really quickly is that you can find the area of a trapezoid and why the formula makes sense. Also, I uploaded some practice problems, a optional worksheet on my website. So if you want to do the practice problems, they're on the website. And some of you guys said, can I please have some more challenging questions? So I found a really difficult sheet on triangle and rectangle area that you have to interpret and kind of decompose some things. That's also on the website if you want some challenge questions in your board over the next few days. Y'all got it. All right, so first let's deconstruct this trapezoid. So if you look at it, you can see that there's a couple shapes in it. I'm going to do my best to draw them. And what we should have here is two triangles. One triangle there, one triangle there, and then a rectangle within. So if they gave us certain dimensions, like we could say like 3 here, oops, we could say 3 here, we know that this side would be 3, 5, and then 7. We'd be able to calculate the area by decomposing this into multiple parts. So this would be, let's make this 8. This would be 2, this would be 2. And then you could find the area of this triangle, and find the area of the, this would have to be 8 as well, and kind of go from there by decomposing it. So for example, for this, we can find the area of this rectangle right here. So we do 5 times 6, which is 30, and that we know that the height of the triangle is 5, so base times height divided by 2. So 5 times 3 is 15, divided by 2 is 7.5, which means this has to be 7.5, so that trapezoid area would be 30 plus 7.5 plus 7.5, which would give us 45 inches squared. So I'm going to give you a little bit more background in why the formula works. So here's the formula. It is base 1 plus base 2 multiplied by the height divided by 2, or 1/2 of base 1 plus base 2 times height. So if you look at this, I have two different trapezoids right here. They're actually the same exact trapezoid, but what do you notice about it? Do my door explorer. What you should notice is that they're the same trapezoid, but they are just flipped upside down. So what happens if I merge the two? Boom! It's a parallelogram. So if you take a trapezoid that is congruent to itself, so two trapezoids that are the same, and just flip it upside down and combine it, it gives us a long parallelogram. And if you remember, that would be just the area which is base times height, as you learned from Monday. So then you divide it by 2 because there's two different trapezoids. Look at that. Math is interesting when we actually explain formulas. So what I want us to do today is we're just going to practice, now that you understand why the formula should work, we're just going to practice plugging and chugging into the formula. That way you can use the practice problems on the website. So go ahead and you can do this with me. So when I write, you write, and we will go from there. So this is going to be base 1, and this is base 2. So I'm going to plug it in for area is equal to 6 plus 11 multiplied by the height. So I always like to label the height as well. Multiplied by 8, and then divide it by 2. So we do order of operations first. So area is equal to 11 plus 6, which is 17. 17 times 8 divided by 2. I'm going to pull my calculator out. 17 times 8 is 136. And 136 divided by 2 is 68 meters squared. What does that 68 mean in the context of the question? You should have said that it means all of the space inside of this shape. Remember, area is the space inside the shape. If you're writing these down and not printing off the PowerPoint, then the way that you can draw a trapezoid, if you just look up here, you do that, a short line, a long line, a longer line underneath, and then 2 diagonal lines, and you can just plug and chug the numbers from there. So here's the next question. I want you to click pause, and I want you to try on your own. You can ignore all those dotted lines. They're just there to try to throw you off. So go ahead and click pause now and begin. So hopefully you did 22, because this is base 1, plus 3, base 2, multiply by the height, which that number is 18. Sorry, I know that's hard to see, divided by 2. So then following order of operations, you do 25, because you have the 22 plus 3, multiplied by 18, divided by 2. Again, I'm going to use a calculator. 25 times 18 is 450. And 450 divided by 2 is 225 meters squared. Remember, it's meters squared because it is a 2D object, and that's how we find the area. Here's another problem that I want you to try. Click pause on this video, and then we will work it out together. So pause in 3, 2, and 1. Now that you worked it out, here's the formula up top. Area is equal to base 1, base 2, and then that's our height right there because it's a 90-degree angle. So 20 plus 14 multiplied by 14 divided by 2. So let me ask you a question. I know you can't really respond. Maybe you can in the comments. Can I do 14 plus 20? Does it matter if I do base 2 plus base 1 first? Your answer should be no, because of the commutative property. So 20 plus 14 is 34, and 34 times 14 is 476, divided by 2 is 238 meters squared. This is the challenge question that some of you guys asked for. This is kind of what I look like when I eat. Always trying to eat something bigger. So the question is that I have for y'all, looking at this trapezoid, what is the area of the green space? What's the area of the gray space? So I'm going to give you a second, pause it, go ahead and do it, and I'm going to work it out really quickly because this video is getting pretty long. So click pause, try to figure it out. You want to find out the green space, area of the green space, and the area of the gray. So the easiest way to do this is to find the area of the trapezoid first. So I'm going to do base 1 plus base 2 multiplied by the height divided by 2. So I'm going to do 100 plus 140 divided by 2 multiplied by the entire height, which is 80 feet, you can see right there. So you have 240 multiplied by 80, and that gives you 19,200 divided by 2. That gives us 9,600. So the area of the trapezoid is 9,600 feet squared. However, that doesn't give me the space of the green area or the gray. That just gives me all of this big trapezoid. So then I have to find the area of this square right here, which is 50 times 52, which gives me 2,600. So the gray space is 2,600, and then the green space would be 9,600 minus 2,600, which should give you 7,000. 9,600, subtract 2,600, and that gives you 7,000. So hopefully you achieved in that. Optional learning opportunities. So final thing, remember on my website, I have the geometry challenge questions. If you click the button and click pop out, it'll bring you open to a Google document. And if you want to practice more with the trapezoids today, feel free to do that. I will post both answer keys by Thursday morning. Remember to sign up for your one-on-one conference call if you want to, and we'll keep it moving. Love y'all, care about y'all. Hope you enjoyed the video. Keep giving me suggestions, like and comment if anything you want to see me add in the future. Have a good day. Bye.